Welcome back to Raw Forestry, where snow, mud, torque, and split-second decisions decide who gets through and who gets buried. The faster you charge through snow, the harder the machine has to work. Push the throttle too far and traction disappears, wheels spin, power goes nowhere, and the whole thing turns into noise. Sometimes all it takes is a little more throttle, not a lot more. That's what separates panic from control. And this operator clearly has the hands and instincts to manage it. Winter always brings out the reckless ones too. One wrong line, one hidden soft patch, one bad call, and the machine reminds you who's really in charge. Full trip plows are tricky at speed, and once the blade lifts and the truck gets high-centered, momentum stops helping. At that point, more torque and less drama is usually the smarter answer. And let's be honest, brute force alone never saves you on ice. This truck learned that the hard way until the crew changed tactics. Second attempt, smarter, not harder. Even a powerful quad track is useless if it can't transfer power to the ground. Then you see the real monsters. A dual Cummins ISX setup with over 1,000 combined horsepower, throwing wet snow at around 30 miles per hour like it's trying to erase winter itself. That kind of speed in heavy snow takes brutal torque, and this beast has plenty of it. But sometimes the worst terrain is the one that looks harmless. In places like Vancouver, melt-freeze cycles make ice harder than concrete. Boards, salt, patience. None of it matters if the surface underneath is polished into glass. That's why whole intersections end up swallowing vehicle after vehicle, while tires just scream in frustration. The John Deere in this clip shows the usual split opinion: strong engine, plenty of heart, but limited lift in the hydraulics when the plow or rear setup starts acting like an anchor. Even so, a 90 horsepower Deere like this can still embarrass bigger tractors when the operator knows what they're doing. Then comes the moment where you think it's over. A machine takes up the whole road. The angle looks wrong, the weight shifts, and you're already bracing for disaster. But somehow it turns around. That kind of recovery earns respect because it looks impossible until it isn't. And sometimes the smartest tools are the smallest ones. A tiny setup saves somebody hours of back-breaking effort. Simple, clever, effective, exactly the kind of field solution people underestimate until they need it. A tow truck gets an instant customer. A tractor meets a wrecked car head-on in one of those ridiculous tractor versus wreck moments. A loaded mine truck gets into trouble because the load sticks to the bed. At first, it looks like a total mess. Then the operator balances risk and control like a tightrope walker and saves it. That's real machine handling. Wet soil and a heavy frame are always a bad combination. A truck in conditions like that has to earn every inch. Same with compact tractors. Sometimes a small Yugoslavian machine punches far above its class because the differential lock kicks in and those little tires finally bite. Then the Iron Muscle showdown starts. Gaz, 6'6", versus Belarus, 1,221. A raw tug-of-war where torque, traction, and weight all get tested at once. No fancy story, just steel trying to prove itself. And one of the best field hacks in the whole video. Tractor sinks like a rock, driver doesn't panic, straps a big log to the wheel, and suddenly traction appears where there was none. If you're new to tractors, that trick alone might save your day one day. When a heavy rig drops deep into mud, one crane usually isn't enough. Two mobile cranes, careful lifting, slow extraction because wet soil grabs like a giant suction cup and refuses to let go. Good crews understand that recovery is a fight against vacuum, not just weight. In the Meadow recovery clip, you can tell the operators knew exactly what they were dealing with. High water table just under the grass, silt soil with almost no support once disturbed, and conservation rules stopping early drainage. So they do it right, proper anchor points, no reckless jerking, no damage, clean extraction. Then comes that perfect operator moment. Right when it seems hopeless, he changes the whole outcome with instinct and timing. The tractor wasn't really built for that situation, but he still pulls it off. That's not luck. That's experience. And when Norway decides to answer winter with machinery, it does it violently. Over 2,000 horsepower, huge snowdrifts, hydraulic systems working non-stop just to manage the volume. One of the most expensive and powerful rubber-tired snowblowers you'll ever see, and it earns every bit of that reputation. The U.S. Pile-up footage is the reminder nobody likes. A major accident on I-35 between Ames and Des Moines. Road shut down for hours. All because winter can turn routine driving into chaos in seconds. That's the pattern in all of this. A normal farm job turns into a heartstopper. A beautiful landscape hides boulders and swampy traps. A Komatsu 860.4 powers through deep mud at max load like it doesn't care. Big Bear gets fresh snow and gravity immediately starts collecting victims on the downhill. Expensive chains won't save a bad decision if the speed is wrong. And in the end, nothing explains heavy equipment better than this. All the power in the world means nothing if you can't put it to the ground. One axle snaps under 20 tons, victory disappears instantly, and the whole class result is gone in one ugly second. That's raw forestry, no romance, no fake heroics, just machines, terrain, traction, and the brutal truth that one mistake changes everything.